Good morning, everybody. If it's morning when you're listening to this or afternoon, I'm Tom Esch. Welcome to the Case for Safety Culture podcast, balancing safety and profitability. I'm here with Hayden Brown. Hayden, how you doing?
Good, Tom. Thanks for having me today.
Good, good. And you are the safety director for Benike Construction in Rochester, Minnesota, correct?
That is correct.
And you're a graduate of the University of Minnesota up in Duluth, right? You have a master's in EHS and some really great training. And you played baseball. We were just talking about baseball, right? You played baseball for 4 or 5 years up there.
Yep, got my master's there at UMD. Also got my bachelor's as well in exercise science there, and then spent 5 years playing baseball there. With having that COVID year, it gave me another year, and decided to continue the education and play some ball while doing so.
Wow, some an advantage of COVID right there. There you go, Hayden. Well, you have an amazing background. You have great training. I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. I respect you a lot for playing that sport at such a high level.
Thank
and
you.
uh, and I'm sure it's going to help your safety world to have that experience in sports and athletics, where safety is an issue in sports, right? And we're here to talk about safety, about your role and what you're doing for Beneke. And I just think you have a very bright future, and I'm excited. I'm grateful that you're on the podcast here today.
Thank you.
So, what are you excited about, Hayden? What are you thinking about? Where's your mind? Where's your energy for some excitement for what you're doing this year? I know your work is challenging. Sometimes it's probably boring, but what are you excited about? What's got you energized?
Yeah. So basically, overall, I think I'm going to talk a lot about culture in general because that's kind
Mhm.
of where we've seen the biggest change, but also something that I am always trying to improve with the company.
Yeah.
So, with the upcoming months, I'm really looking forward to shifting that more positively. I mean, I've been the sole safety professional here since February,
Yeah.
and there's been some great changes, but I'm hoping even more can kind of keep going and we can kind of shift that as we keep moving year after year at this point. I mean,
Hmm.
it's always something that can get better.
Yeah.
Um, but then along the way, I'm just looking to learn a lot more from other individuals as well within the safety profession. There's never enough that you can learn, I would say overall. So
Hmm.
it's been great connecting with some people, but even looking forward to connecting with more and hearing their insights, whether it be general industry or construction safety. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, you're at the right age to be wanting to learn from others. I mean, you do have some great training, and you're young. Let's be honest. You're a young guy and a pretty high level job. You have good training, and I think you got the right attitude that you're still a learner, even though you got expertise, even though you had a good head on your shoulders. I think that's exciting that you're looking forward to learning, watching others, learning from others, being mentored by guys who've been in the industry 20, 30 years, guys that I know at Beneke that are construction studs who are really, really good, and they're really going to help you grow your ability. So I'm also curious what's difficult or what's challenging. What are one or two you think of your top challenges this year? Here we are, beginning of summer. What are you looking at for big challenges? I know the city of Rochester is booming, if people don't know this. Destination Rochester with the Mayo Clinic. But what are some of your challenges, Hayden, down there?
yeah, definitely just some natural growing pains, I think, just stepping into a larger role. I definitely learned a lot more about the organization. But when it comes to organizing myself, it's kind of taking care of both the field side and the administrative duties with that. So trying to figure
Hmm.
out that balancing act of time has been interesting. But with college, I feel like that prepared me a good amount just with the athletics and academics. So it was kind
Hmm.
of a transition at first. You take in things like on the administrative side, like files and stuff like that. You got to sort through it because it wasn't yours before. So you got to do that.
Hmm.
And then on the field side, it's still getting to know people even better than what I do already. Um, but we have a really unique setting too because we have a lot of jobs throughout the area, especially downtown. We work within the Mayo Clinic. spectrum a lot, but we
Mhm.
also do a lot of stuff in Southeast Minnesota in general. So making sure that I get there, try to get to every single job at least once a week. It can be challenging, but it's so far it's been great, and I enjoy it. It makes the day go by fast. You get to see people that they're just awesome in general. So you get to talk with them, look over
Mhm.
the site, kind of get some information from them, what they've been seeing. But
Mhm.
yeah, those are two main challenges. Another just challenge or goal that I would say that I have is just kind of like we talked about before, continuing that education no matter what. But
Mhm.
then just networking with other safety professionals as well. Uh, I know we have awesome things like LinkedIn and there's conferences and stuff like that, but you know, it's not always we're all very busy. So I think connecting with people is awesome, and you can sit down and have a conversation like we're doing right now.
Yeah. Do you know the AGC National Safety Conference is in Minneapolis this July?
Yes, I will be attending.
You will be. Awesome. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm one of the speakers
Well, perfect.
on the
That makes it even
23rd.
better.
I'm giving the keynote on the 23rd, so I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you don't heckle me too badly out there.
I'll be
But
the guy in the back, but I'll give you the heads up now.
thank you, thank you. And I'm curious, how many jobs are you visiting? Because you said you try to hit them all every week.
Oh gosh, let's see. I mean, it's at least 30 to 40 total. I mean, some of them are
Holy cow!
smaller and you can kind of navigate your way through the Mayo Clinic and stuff like that. They're kind of all
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But then larger projects, we've probably got around 10, I would say, that are
Mhm.
pretty significant still. But
Mhm.
yeah, just navigating that. It's the navigating the whole entire building of the Mayo Clinic is probably the hardest part, honestly.
Sounds like you got a lot of challenges, Hayden, and one of them is just balancing everything and balancing the field work and the office work. You have some office support though, don't you? Oh,
Correct. Yes.
a decent amount. Is it a full-time or half-time person? I forget.
I mean, usually it's still just me doing all of the safety related stuff, but if there's little bits and pieces there, I usually have somebody that I can be like, "Hey, can you help me out with this?"
Sure,
And it can vary on who it is. It's
sure,
a lot
sure.
of people are willing to help each other.
That's nice. Well, that's a lot at the size. What you guys are what, 260 people?
In the field right now, we've got 250, and then plus the office is another 35, so
That's so that
285. Yeah,
that's a heavy load. That's a 9 inning game there for you, Hayden. Every
definitely,
every
definitely.
day, but you seem poised for it and ready for it and excited about it, which is really cool. So challenges are always going to be there. How about culture? You mentioned culture and you wanted to talk about culture. When I say culture, what do you think about and what is cult? How do you define it in the context of your role there?
Yeah, I mean, culture in and of itself, if you look at it from like a wide spectrum, it's
Mm-hmm.
like the shared beliefs of a large group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So for your company, it's influenced from the top down. So
Mm-hmm.
your top management, your C-suite, whatever you want to call it, they're the ones that have to be bought in and
Mm-hmm.
promoting it from level to level. And each level has to buy into that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's something that is hard to change necessarily and can kind of be set when a company first starts.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be able to be willing to change for it. And so it's not
Mm-hmm.
an easy feat by any means, especially because people don't like change. That's kind of how it is when they get
Mm-hmm.
used to the norms. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
with motivation and willingness from others, you can create that culture that's positive and sustainable. I think we're trending in the right direction for sure. And the leaders that we have, they're awesome. I mean, they are bought into safety, and the it's just amazing to hear what they have to say about it too. I'm very thankful for that and the help that I've received when it comes to promoting it.
Yeah, well acquainted with your company and with Mike Benike, your CEO, and Aaron Benike and Adam Benike and Rich and all the others that have been around there a long time. They are the real deal. I think Hayden, meaning they're authentic human beings. They care about others and they care about safety. and they care about having a good, profitable business. And they wouldn't have been around three, four generations if they didn't. Um,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You've worked with them pretty extensively, and so you
yeah,
you know them pretty well. And so through that, obviously, it's been awesome to get to know you with that. And yeah, because I remember them saying, "Oh yeah, Tom Esch, should talk to him sometime." And you came down, and we had the conversation. And I was like,
yeah,
"Yeah, he's a good guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's been around for a while."
yeah, yeah. You mean I'm old?
No, I didn't say that. You got many years ahead of you. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Hayden. I love the vote of confidence. How about thank you for your definition of culture. And I couldn't agree more. It starts from the top and goes down. It really does. And it in a way it gets set at the beginning. And that was interesting what you said. And it's not easy to change. Um, and yet you need to keep helping it to change and get better. We have to evolve. We have to grow. The world is different. It is not the 1950s. It's not the 1980s. It's 2025, and we live in a very different world from what we had even 10 years ago. And safety gets shaped by the culture, and culture gets formed, as you said, by the leaders primarily, and driving it down to all the levels. What kind of training? I know you got a master's, but and maybe mention that. But what else? What has been your training to influence safety outcomes, to influence the development of culture? What background do you have in that, Hayden, or where do you look to develop that?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll start with kind of like the company and what we've done recently.
Hmm.
So I know we've worked with you in the past. This was before my time with a little bit of it, but the
Hmm.
having crucial conversations. I
Hmm.
know that was a great experience for a lot of people back then.
Hmm.
I wish I was around for that one,
Hmm.
but other than that, we recently had the personality assessments that we had with you. That was
Yeah,
an interesting one for sure,
yeah,
because I think there's a lot of things in there that you don't realize about yourself when you're doing
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and that was great. Learning
yeah,
more about how we as a company have totally different personalities, but how we can work together despite those. And so doing a lot of those trainings, I think, are keeping us focused on more than just, hey, we need to get these jobs done. Hey, we need to step back and learn how can we do this efficiently with one another. And so I
yeah.
think that was a great experience. I think a lot of people liked it. Not to mention we got a nice lunch out of it and stuff. So that was awesome.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
with that, there's a bunch of other stuff. I've done, like you said, a lot of training in general. A lot of our companies involved with the AGC.
Hmm.
A lot of our leaders and like project managers, especially, they've done various programs through the AGC when it
Yeah.
comes to leadership and training, and so they speak very, very highly of it, whether it be them or a different type of organization. It's great because they say that it's all about the collaboration between
Hmm.
the different industries and industry leaders. Because I mean, the more that you can learn from other leaders,
Hmm.
the better a leader that you're going to become. Because it all
Hmm.
comes from those different
Hmm.
perspectives. So
It's
I think
great.
that's a big thing for a lot of people. So for myself, I mean, we talked about educationally. I had great teachers and coaches at
Hmm.
UMD.
Hmm.
So I got my master's, like you said, in environmental health and safety.
Hmm.
Played ball for 5 years. I mean, I learned a lot about just safety standards and concepts that relate to environmental and occupational health and safety. But
Hmm.
within that program, we talked a lot about safety culture and the importance of how much it can affect a company. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not just about promoting a positive culture, but promoting it positively with a purpose. So what I mean
Hmm.
by this is that you have to tie in why safety is important to not only the individual, but to their family,
Hmm.
their coworkers' family, and so on and so on. So to put it in simple terms, it's what is your why is kind of how I look at it. You
Hmm.
got to find your why. So,
Hmm.
I mean, with myself, where I've learned the most and the best training overall when it comes to leadership, and now it's kind of indirectly coming into safety, was with sports, with baseball. I mean,
Hmm.
prior to college, I was a good player. but I mean, I never worked extremely hard to develop my skills and strength. So once I got there, I kind of realized that in order to be successful and see the field, you got to put in the extra time to get better. Because a lot of us came in when you're in high school, you're the dude. Wherever you're at, you're probably one of the dudes. Well, when you're in college, it's bringing all those dudes together. So it's just a team full of dudes that are just awesome and great players. And so I think that was a real wake up call for myself. And it definitely shaped me into who I've become today. Um, the awesome part about it was that my teammates, they kind of had the same drive to become better. I mean, we'd be in the weight room at 6 a.m., dripping sweat, about to pass out. But those were the best days because, I mean, we just struggled together. That's kind of what it came down to. It brought us all
Mhm.
closer. We knew we were getting better. And all of us came from different backgrounds, different states, but we all had the same team goals, which
Mhm.
was great. I mean, and then learning from the leaders before me, I mean, I was exposed to ways of how to be a good leader and how to be a bad leader. Obviously, all the leaders I had great qualities, and there's a
Mhm.
few things hit or miss, but um, you can't be perfect and please everyone, but creating a balance of this
Mhm.
understanding between yourself and different personalities, it's a step in the right direction no matter what. And so I think as a safety leader now, I think that's the most important takeaway, especially in construction and construction safety, where just about nothing's ever perfect. And
Mhm.
being adaptable is extremely essential to the job. And so that that is my long-winded way to put it. It was there's just so much that I've learned throughout my time, and even in the year that I've been here, interacting with all of the different personalities we have out on job sites. It's been
Mhm.
great, and so they've taught me more than anything that I think I will ever teach them.
Mhm. Wow, it sounds like your training has been in the classroom, on the baseball field, on the construction job site, doing training like what I've helped you with. You mentioned the personality assessment. You guys actually did the Myers-Briggs and tried to make sense of all those letters everybody has and how do those letters translate to your teamwork together and working well together when somebody is an introvert and really would prefer to never talk and their office mate is an extrovert and talks all the time. How do you balance all that, right? Or somebody's a thinker and they can't articulate one feeling and somebody else is an off the scale feeler. Some of that creates tension that gets in the way of productivity and safety. Some of that can get in the way of safety. So the awareness,
Absolutely,
but that it was a long answer, Hayden. You're passionate. You've had a lot of different things in your young life. What I'm excited about is to see your openness to learning, because I work with a lot of safety guys, and I work with very few that are your age at your level, and that's exciting to me and interesting. And you're going to learn a lot, right? And you're in the school of hard knocks. You didn't mention that. You're young, but you will be knocked around also, and you already have been. And you mentioned the
definitely, yeah,
struggle of college sports. I also played college baseball, and you gotta work your ass off to get in shape, to be skillful at that level. And so you have some really great training there. I love it. How about a new question here about safety and profitability? I know this is a tension. We'd like to pretend it's not there. We'd like to think, we hear safety first, and Mike Rowe says, no, safety third. It's too important to be first. And some companies say, well, profitability is first, or we wouldn't be around. Um, but do you hear about the tension? Do you think about the tension between safety and profitability? How does that play out in your average day-to-day world?
yeah. I mean, I don't hear about it too much, honestly,
Mm,
from our company, but I mean, I hear about it from others. It's always going to be in the back of your mind no matter what. I mean, there's things that
mm,
I wish we could have that would be awesome, but
mm.
it comes down to it's very, very expensive. And you got to look at the idea of
What's
do we
expensive?
truly need it?
Safety's
Some of
expensive?
some of the safety stuff, yeah,
Yeah, it is.
absolutely.
Yes.
And so I mean, you're trying to have a company. No matter what, to have a company, you got to be profitable in order to keep going, and that's the reality of it. And so
Absolutely. It's business.
I definitely get that. And so we're really good about making sure that we have what we need and looking at different ways that we can still promote safety even better and get the right equipment, the right tools that people need each and every day. Uh, but then keeping that in mind as well. It's kind of hard to even describe sometimes because I mean, if it were to be the best of the best stuff, it's not always going to prevent everything too. So that's a whole nother deal. Is
Mhm.
you can buy the greatest and the latest, but it comes down to people using it correctly, and for the tool to operate the way that it's supposed to, used in the right what am I trying to say? Scope of work and stuff like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So um, for me, it doesn't affect me as much, but I think it's something that a lot of people have to think about each and every day. And having a company that is open to making safety a priority is what's going to help you get those funds that you need in order to do it. And
Uh-huh.
so I think, if anything, if you have a more profitable company, you probably might have great safety already, is another thing.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, you look at it, they always talk about, workers' compensation and things like that. You drive down those metrics and you
Mhm.
can see benefits there. I mean, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the good old saying of, well, the best ability is availability. And so having all of your best people available is what's going to drive your profits. But as long as they're available, that means that they are most likely being safe. So that's kind of how I see it.
Now, if we could just get Royce Lewis to not get injured. Hayden,
Gosh,
you
I
got any
know.
ideas for that Minnesota Twin baseball player? Just keeps, I think he's ahead of Byron Buxton now for injuries.
He's got to be getting there at this point. Yeah, no kidding. I wish bubble wrap would help, but no, he's when he's on the field, he's exceptional. But yeah, off the
Exceptional.
field, then it's oh darn, we don't have it.
Tom, maybe the Twins need to hire you, Hayden, to improve their safety. Availability. When you said availability, I'm like, oh, good. You make me think of the Twins. Final question, unless you want to finish with something else, is a story of and I know you're young, maybe you don't have one yet, but maybe you do, where you tried to change something or impact something, and were part of the leadership, or you watched others, something succeeded or something failed in the line of culture, in the line of improving something related to safety.
Yeah, yeah. So since beginning my career here, I think one of the biggest things I've led uh, was just the culture in general. One thing that comes in particular, we had like pre-task planners, very, very simple, it seems like, but we hadn't been doing them. We tried them in the past, never really worked out, kind of long-winded. Ended up actually condensing it down a lot. And
Hmm.
ever since then, I think it's been kind of heading in the right direction. People have kind of bought into it. They're like, oh, this isn't bad. It's actually something we can do right in the morning, quick 5, 10 minutes. And if anything, they said it's been good for the relationships between one another there. Because it's kind of like, yes, they talk about that, and then they also kind of see how everyone's doing in general. I mean, you're going to be with these people all day, and you might
Hmm.
not be next to them, but you're going to be with them a lot. And so it allows them to get to know each other and creates more trust between them. And so, I mean, overall, the change itself would be culture. That's just a small sample of something that has happened. But
Hmm.
I mean, it's the culture itself. I mean, when I arrived, the things were not heading in the right direction. It was injuries were up, the lack of care for safety was up as well
Hmm.
by employees, and then morale was low. I mean, I heard frustrations from people and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I mean, it took time and a lot of relationship building. I mean, no matter what, I'm a safety professional. I come in and they're like, "Oh boy," at first they don't know me at all. But I mean, once I took that time, got to know them, it felt like it's been trending up in the right direction. And I could sit here and try to take credit for it, but it really comes down to the people we have here at Benike Construction. I
Hmm.
mean, they've been phenomenal with everything since I've taken on this larger role in helping me. But without the help of these individuals and our team leaders, this turnaround wouldn't be able to happen at all. I mean, it's cliche and I may be biased, but I genuinely feel like we have the best people out of any construction company there is. I mean, I
Wow.
can't thank each one of our team members enough for their communication, their hard work,
Wow.
and their openness when it comes to safety and their overall job effort. I mean, they're great. It's unbelievable how awesome they are.
Well, that's a great story there. Two stories. The pre-task planner sounded like they were too long and cumbersome, and guys weren't doing them.
Yeah, yeah.
You simplified that, or a group of you simplified that?
Yeah, I ended up simplifying it and we brought it to our safety committee and agreed upon it. And so
And
yeah, got input from
and now
all of them.
they're using it, so they're doing better planning, they're meeting, and then you said they also do more better check-ins. They're getting to know each other a little bit. They're asking how they're
Yeah,
doing, which is good for relationships and mental health and everything else like that. And then you also said you that the whole trend is going in in a different direction, in a more positive direction.
definitely, definitely.
That's so great, Hayden. Well, it's and that's pretty quick. I mean, and I've been around. I know some of the history you guys have had, and that's a quick change you guys have had there. So
It's a quick change, but it's still always ongoing. It can always get better. So
yes, yes, and I always wonder that the experienced consultant in me wonders when there's a quick change, is it a permanent change? Is it a temporary change? So I would keep watching it, keep nurturing it, but it sounds like all the signs are good, Hayden, that there's so many good things happening and it's challenging. You guys are hiring some younger guys, some less experienced guys, right? Some of your
yeah,
seasoned guys are
yeah,
going to retire in the next year to 3 years. I know that. And and I also know you have a good mid-range chunk of guys. You got guys in their 30s too, uh,
yeah,
and
definitely.
40s that are going to be around 10, 20 years. So I think you guys are destined for great things. I'm happy to hear you've been already making a positive impact, and I like how you point the reason at the culture, not at yourself. I think that's the right thing. I think your humility is authentic, and I think it's helpful. And I wish you a great long career there at Beneke, Hayden, and
Thank you. Thank you.
appreciate you here. Any final thing you want to say about safety or culture or
I think just like with culture in general, the biggest thing is within a culture, you got to make sure that safety isn't just a priority. So I'm going to quote the book Safety 24/7 by Greg
oh,
Anderson and
great book.
Robert Lorber.
Yeah,
Uh, Safety can't just be a priority. It has to be a core value because priorities change, but core values remain constant.
nice. Yeah, that's a great book. I just recommended that to a guy that I'm coaching down in Omaha. Thank you, Hayden, for your work. Thank you for your energy, your positivity. And how can people find you or Beneke Construction?
Yeah. If you are looking to find me, I'm on LinkedIn. It should be just under my name, Hayden Brown.
Mhm.
Otherwise, yeah, that's the main way I would say to contact
Sure.
me.
Yep, reach out that way. Benike, Benike, right?
Correct. Yes.
Construction because it can be spelled a lot of ways. But thank you again, Hayden. Great to have you on the podcast. And we'll sign off. We'll see you soon in a few weeks at the AGC event.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Tom. I appreciate it. It was awesome.
You're welcome, Hayden.